Hello everyone, so I'm Laura from Bath School of Dance. I'm a ballet teacher and this video today is to talk to those who are completely new to ballet and give you some basics that you might need to know before you come along to one of our classes. All right, so this video is going to focus on posture and weight placement, also positions of the arms and legs. So before you get started, in terms of what you wear today, you can wear anything comfortable. You don't have to wear a leotard and tights. You can wear leggings, t-shirts. You don't need ballet shoes either. Just depending on what surface you're dancing on, if you're at home, you can wear socks if it's not too slippy, or you can go bare feet. That's absolutely fine. And then if you don't have a ballet bar like us today to hold on to, then just find a chair or a kitchen surface or something, just anything that's stable, and we will then get started. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at posture in ballet. So this is really fundamental, really important to any ballet class. So we work from the feet coming upwards. So starting with our feet, I want you to feel as though you are spreading out your toes. So whether you've got ballet shoes or socks on, just feel like you're really spreading your toes out on the floor so you've got as wide a surface as possible to stand on. So if you think of your feet as two triangles, you want to think of the big toe as one point, the little toe as another point, and your heel as the third point of the triangle, and you want to make sure that all 3 points are on the floor so we're not rolling one way or the other. And then in terms of our weight placement, we are slightly further forward than normal. So you're kind of leaning towards the balls of your feet. So you could just slightly lift your heels off the floor. I'll just turn this way so you can see. So your weight is quite far forward over the feet. And that's so that we're sort of engaged and ready to move and jump. All right, so then we're going to move up the legs. So you're going to engage all of the muscles in your legs. So you're going to lengthen up the shins, the knees and the thighs. So you're engaging all of these muscles. Just be careful not to lock your knees back. So you're lengthening up the backs of the knees without swinging back on them, okay? So then we come to the pelvis, which is the center of the posture. So this is really, really important. We just want to make sure that we are not poking our bottoms out and we are not tucking underneath. Okay, so we want a nice square pelvis. One way you can look to make sure you're doing this is to make a diamond shape with your fingers and your thumbs here, quite low down on your pelvis. If you look down, you want to make sure that your thumbs are directly over your fingers. If you can't see your fingers, it usually means that you are swinging back this way. This is the most common mistake we make, and we poke our bottoms out. And if your fingers are poking out from your thumbs, it means that you're going this way. So as you can see, as soon as you tip this way, our whole posture goes, our knees bend, our back goes as well. So you want to make sure that it's nicely stacked, that you're lengthening down from the tailbone to the floor, and then this will keep us nice and straight. So we're coming up to the core now. So you want to pull your belly button through to your spine, engaging your abdominal muscles. And then I want you to feel like you're lengthening out between the vertebrae. So you're lengthening out of the spine and out of the back of the head this way. And then we're also keeping nice and long on the sides of the body. So we're keeping these long. We're not going to swing from side to side. All right, so the length's coming out the back of the head. We're keeping the ribs really nice and flat at the front. So you're then going to roll your shoulders back. So rolling the shoulders back opens up the chest here. We get a nice long neck, and you're going to feel like you're drawing down the shoulder blades here. All right, good. So from here, we are going to think about turnout. So turnout is the one quite unusual thing about ballet that you don't get in a lot of other forms of exercise. So to turn out, we are going to rotate in the hips. So you've got all of these muscles here, hip rotator muscles. You're going to rotate. You're also going to use your inner thigh muscles to come out to what we call first position. And we'll be looking at that a little bit more soon. Okay, so we're now going to look at positions of the feet. Okay, so going from parallel, as we talked about in the posture section of this video, we're going to need to turn out from our hips and rotate from those inner thigh muscles to come to our turned out position here. Okay, so we're coming out to our first turned out position, which is first position with the feet here. All right, so first position, you're probably more than likely it's going to be like a right angle of the feet. Okay, but your turnout is very personal to you. It's very dependent on the shape of your hip sockets, the strength in the muscles around the hips, and it's just finding what is a comfortable first position for you to stand in. All right, so here we are in first position, feet out to the side. Make sure that your hips are rotated out, and you can just test that by doing a little plie and making sure that those knees are over our toes. All right, so now we're going to go into second position. We're going to take those feet a little bit further than hip width apart. Again, this is going to be very personal to you and what's a comfortable second position. All right, but generally it is a little bit wider than your hips, and you are keeping that turnout in those legs. So that's second position. Third position is where we bring one foot in front of the other, okay? So we tend to start off with third position in ballet as we're getting used to that crossing action, and then we move into fifth position, which is a bit more crossed over, which we will come on to next. Okay, so but with a third position, if you're going to be working in third position to start off with, you're going to take the heel of the foot probably to around the arch of the foot behind. So if you are wearing ballet shoes, it's quite helpful because it tends to line up with the elastic on the shoe. Okay, so that's our third position, and you're going to need to feel like you're squeezing your thighs together to get that nice crossed over action. So we're going to go from third position to fifth position. We're going to skip fourth temporarily because fifth position is just a little bit further along. So your heel is coming to the big toe joint of the foot behind. Okay, so again, it's just going to take a little bit more feeling of crossing over and bringing those thighs together to get that fifth position. And then fourth position is where we take that foot slightly in front. So I'm just going to move an angle so that you can see this. There's a little bit of a gap between both feet. And that gap there tends to be about the length of your own foot. Okay, so you are coming into this position, you've got the length of your own foot between both feet. And what you want to do is make sure that your weight is right down the middle of both feet. So you don't want to be leaning over the front foot or leaning over the back foot. You want to be going straight down the middle. And that's kind of the same with all of these positions. Okay, your weight is going right down the middle. So the same with second position here. Weight is right down the middle. You're not leaning over one side or the other. Okay, so they're the basic positions of feet in ballet. We have our first position. We have our second position. We have third or fifth. And then we have our fourth position here. Okay, so we're going to move on to positions of the arms now. So we're going to look at just some of the basic positions to start off with. So before we get started with arms, we're going to actually just look at what the fingers do in ballet and the thumbs. Okay, so with the hands in ballet, you want to make sure that they're quite relaxed. So often we're tensing up and we put our fingers together like this. You want to give your hands a good shake. And you want to just make sure that you've got some nice little gaps between the fingers here. So sometimes people have a little, the middle finger sort of goes in a little bit just to stagger them, okay? Make sure that they're not completely stiff. Really important that we don't have thumbs out like this. Thumbs stay tucked into our palms, okay? So we've got nice natural fingers, and the hand continues on the line of the wrist. So we don't break the wrists. It's like our hands are a lovely continuation of the arms. So we're going to start with bras bar. So this is the basic position that we start in with the arms. Okay, so this is bras bar here. It's a nice curve. It's like a big circle, okay? So to keep the circle and stop it becoming a bit of a rectangle, you want to think about having a little bit of poise under the armpits here. Okay, so one way of thinking about that is to think of holding a grape under each armpit, and you're just holding them in place, but you don't want to crush them. Okay, so it's just enough to feel that little bit of poise and little bit of lift and keep that nice circle shape. The arms, the hands, I should say, there's a small gap between them. We don't want them to be together. We don't want them to cross over, and we don't want them to be here. The way we think of that gap is the width of your face. So not your head, but the width of your face here. Okay, so it's just a small gap. Or if you think of maybe a small apple or an orange, that's sort of the distance that you want those hands to be here. All right, so this is bras bar. So then we're going to come to what we call first position. This is just lifting that shape up a little bit higher so that it's in front of the belly button here. All right, one common mistake we make with first position is that we start to take it too high. We take it in front of the chest. It's actually quite low. It's just down in front of the belly button here. All right, so that's our first position, keeping those elbows lifted. We're going to take it to second position now. Now, this is one of the hardest because we are coming out to the sides here. But what tends to happen is that we start to get droopy elbows like this in second position. So you want to feel like you're curving from the top half of the arm. And then from that curve, you are just moving that palm forward so that we're twisting the bottom half of the arm to face the front. And if you're really engaging those arm muscles properly, you will feel it under here and here, and it will start to ache. So you want to think about engaging the back muscles as well to hold those arms in second position so that they're keeping nice and lifted. Really good to do this in front of a mirror and get used to that feeling. And once you know where those arms need to be, hopefully your muscles will remember it. So think of a raindrop with these arms in second. The raindrop is coming down onto the shoulder and it's going to go all the way off your arm and off your fingertips at the end here. Okay, if you're starting to do droopy elbows, then the raindrop isn't going to be going off the end of your fingers. So that's one way of just checking that you've got the correct position in second. All right, so from second position, we're going to go to third position, which is a combination of first and second. So you've got one arm in front of you, in front of the belly button, the other arm out to the side. So you can have third position with one arm forward, and you can have third position with the other arm forward here. Right, from there, we're going to go to fourth position. So this is taking one arm up above the head here. Okay, so this arm stays in second, this arm is up in the air. And then again, you can have fourth position here, and you can have fourth position this side. All right, so then we're going to go fifth position. Okay, fifth position is both arms up above your head here. So if you're going from first position, it's just going to be a continuation going all the way up here. Now, the way to check that you've got your arms positioned correctly in fifth is to look straight ahead of you and wiggle your fingers, and you should still be able to see your fingers in your peripheral vision here. It's exactly the same with second position. If you look straight ahead of you, you should still be able to see your fingertips. If you can't see them, it's likely that they are too far back. So you're either here or you're either here over your head. And if you can see, if I take them too far back, I start to lose the posture. Okay, so you want to keep them just slightly in front of you. So just a quick recap, we've got bra bar, we've got first, we've got second, we have third, we have fourth, we have fifth. And just to finish off, because this is quite a nice one that we do in dance class quite a lot, is open fifth, which is where we literally just open the palms outwards here to make a nice V shape. Thank you so much for watching our video today. If you want to find out more information about our adult ballet classes, then please check out our website.